So first impressions of the Z6III. Now, as you can see, this thing is tiny and that's really exciting for me. I'm so used to working with other cinema cameras that are big and bulky and heavy and take quite a bit of time to set up. So working with a tiny body, it means I can literally rig it up to anything we like in a matter of minutes. A drone to the Movi to a rickshaw. I think we worked with maybe 5 or 6 different rigs. So we're just setting up the Movi for our first shot. We got a dawn shot. It could feel dynamic if you are pretty close to them. That way you can afford less of a pan, but that's perfect in terms of movement. This could be nice. So being able to have control over tracking sensitivity and speed means that we can achieve shots in a far more cinematic way. After our talent pulls up in their car, they start getting their bikes down from the roof rack, and so we've been using the autofocus feature, the face tracking, so it's subject detection, and so we've been changing the sensitivity so that the camera is not actually hunting for other subjects, rather than sticking with face detection. It's a touch screen, so it's nice and easy to work with. We tap it on our subject's face and basically it tracks their movement throughout the scene unfolding. Action. I decided to use the 85 1.2 as well as the 50 1.2 for our hero close-ups, and that was purely because I wanted to achieve that depth of field that felt quite cinematic. So when we're tracking our subjects, I wanted that really beautiful bokeh and some nice motion blur as we're tracking these subjects. We're going to get the big 85 on. We're going to do some tracking shots now of the cyclists. We're going to see what the autofocus capabilities.
Beautiful lens.
So on larger film productions, you're typically relying on a first AC, a focus puller, to do a lot of that focus pulling work. But with this new product, the Z6III, it meant that I could completely rely on the camera and its autofocus abilities to perform the way that I would like to without having the need for AC. The other feature of the Z6III that I really enjoyed was actually the varied angle reared screen. So it meant that when we were hard rigging our camera in tight spaces, whether it's on the Movi, on a rickshaw, it meant that we were always able to move our rear screen to a position that we could see and make sure we could frame up and see the image correctly for monitoring purposes. So it made for a really seamless and smooth production. So yeah, happy. The next shot we're going to try is a POV shot of one of our riders as if they're on their bike. And in order to achieve that with 2 hands free, we're actually mounting the camera to a rig that she wears. So the other really cool thing about these Nikon Z lenses is the control ring. It's assignable, which means that you can assign aperture control to this ring and then super smoothly change between aperture instead of just using the dial, which might be more visible or noticeable for shaking because it's a dial that incrementally adjusts the aperture. So that was super cool to use and a little bit more reminiscent of cine style lenses. The motion is going to be from here to here. So as you can see, there's 3 screens going at the same time and we're about to lose the light. So I think we've got it, we're pretty happy, but here we go. Yeah. I think we're on, yeah, one last one for luck. He's confirmed, it's a wrap.